Yo, I want to chill right now.
You're disrespecting me in a public forum right now. You realize that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want that to be the goal of the podcast, for somebody to let go of their worries in the world and listen to us.
This is my new look, Daddy David. Daddy David.
Born to procreate. Born to procreate. Yeah, that better make it in the intro.
Nah, probably not.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to episode 76 of the Unboxing Light podcast. We are currently another man down. This is the second episode this has ever happened to us in our 77 episodes here. So I'm going to introduce my two boys because we're down a man. I got Dave Vision's partner in crime who's also crying.
What is up? Crime is spelled with a Y because I am cry. It is cry me cry.
Me cry.
Is gone, but I don't know what to do.
Shh. None of us know what to do, man. I'm also joined by Mr. Al's father. How are you?
That's me. I'm also upset about David being here, even though it's not in my Zoom name. But you know, shit happens. Whatever.
Yeah. And I am David. If David dies, we riot. Which is a really horrible nod to the "if Daryl dies, we riot" meme from like 2011. So,
for the Walking
with
Dead,
that,
you said.
Yeah, the Walking Dead. So, shout out to you if you got that reference. If not, still shout out to you.
Daryl is still alive, I'm pretty sure. So,
yeah.
Fucking sick Walking Dead spoilers, Alex.
frick,
Idiot.
Frick me.
Also, if you're listening to this.
Sleep that.
If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, please, by all means, give us a review. We'll read it on air. We'll roast you. We'll do whatever you want. Just give us a review. Doesn't have to be good. Just give us a review. But make it a good review. And with that, let's get into the traditions. I want to hear the funny joke. Let's kick off with
All right.
a humorous little note.
Yep, I got you. So this one is coming from the Reddit user Hugo Z Hackenbush 214. So shout out to him.
Jesus, that's really involved.
But you know how like people were having theories that Alexa is listening to you. She's working for the CIA, the FBI, all these things. We know our phones are listening to us. They got these ads popping up whenever you talk about anything.
Right.
The dang TV's watching you. The dang microwave's collecting information from you. But I got some news for you that nobody seems to realize just yet. Your vacuum cleaner has been cleaning up dirt on you for years.
Even the little automated robot be holding the dirt.
It's dumb funny because the vacuum cleaner I have at my house is older than the release of the iPhone, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah.
Mine isn't, but it looks just like it. Like it looks straight out of the 80s. And it's loud as shit.
it's mad funny.
Mm-hmm.
I would replace them, but vacuums are expensive. Like the model I have is like maybe 170, and that's like bottom of the barrel shit. Like if you want a Dyson ball, that'll run you a good $450.
Yeah, dude, I see those
Like,
commercials. It's like
I was like, bro, no
the
way.
newest technology from Dyson, only $800. It's like, all right, thanks.
It's a fucking hamster ball.
Thanks, soothing British
Get
lady.
over yourself.
You're not
Get
making
over
You're
yourself.
not making the price land any softer there.
I'm not buying the fucking $1,000 Samsung vacuum that also tells me the weather.
Yeah.
It's like, it's raining outside. This is why you're vacuuming, because you can't do shit outside.
There you go.
All right,
There it is.
give me your fun fact, baby.
All right. The Olympic trials are going on right now. We're going to have the Tokyo 2020 actually happening in 2021 Olympics starting in late July, I believe the 22nd or so.
Nope.
So we got an Olympic fact.
I heard
is
Usain Bolt retire, which is kind of fucked.
Yeah, I mean, he's just past his prime.
He's old.
Just how it happens, yeah. But, you know, he did quite, like, being the fastest man alive for what was, like, 12, 16 years. I think he was.
Yeah, I don't know when he debuted, but he's been around for a while.
Yeah, having that
Since
title for a good long time.
Him and Phelps came out like around the same time together, I want to say.
So my fact is that Michael Phelps is the most decorated Olympic athlete of all time.
Yep. Yep.
Ooh.
And it turns into a question halfway through, which you guys will answer, which is, what percentage of the gold medals won by the United States in swimming events have been won by Michael Phelps?
In all time?
All time. So, for context, the first modern Olympic Games was in Athens, Greece in 1896.
I'm going to go
But the-
87%.
Americans won, you said,
87%?
right?
Okay.
But it's only in times that we won, right?
It's
No,
the...
it's just
it's
like all the
the-
gold medals combined.
Yes.
How many of him? Or how many are him?
So we have won a set amount of gold medals since 1896. What percentage of
Okay.
those gold medals were
It's probably
won
like
by
53,
Michael
but-
Phelps?
Mm.
I'm going to go ballsy, so that's fine.
I'm gonna say 42.0%.
Jesus Christ. I guess you guys... Okay. It's 9.3%,
Oh, I'm overshooting it then.
which is massively
what
impressive.
do you think?
Yeah.
It's massively impressive.
I'm
Impressive
way
in and of
overshooting
itself. I think he set the record for the most at a games with like 8 medals or something like that. So
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like 2008.
yeah, I
Dang.
guess we were just deeply outside the context. But yes, so he has won 23 of the total 246 gold medals that the U.S. has won since 1896. And of course,
That's pretty dope.
swimming has been in the games since its inception. So
That's nuts. That's
Dude,
nuts,
yeah,
but-
he's the reason why the Beijing 2008 Olympics were like such a phenomenon that Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games was like considered a good game. That game was trash, but it was fun as shit for you 12-year-olds out there when I was 12 and that came out. But I remember that like walking in or Blockbuster and getting that game like when Blockbuster was a thing. Like I'm showing my age, but
yeah, bro, everyone was like the biggest swimming fan on the planet watching Michael Phelps like go for that record and achieving it.
Yeah.
He's won 28 medals in total, which, as I said to begin with, makes him the most decorated Olympic athlete of all time. So,
yeah, shout out to
Cam,
Michael Phelps.
Me and Trevor were speculating about this the other day, but since you're the fact man, you might know. So it's the Tokyo 2020 Olympics because it didn't happen last year.
mhm.
So since they're keeping the name 2020, does that mean the next Olympics is going to be in 2024, or are they all pushing everything back?
No, it'll
That's
definitely be
cool.
2024.
It'll definitely be 24. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. So then they only got 3 years.
Yep. No, that's
To be fair, they've probably been training for
Nah, yeah,
this
I know.
this entire time. So
They got to come hard.
I was talking with a friend of mine earlier about Euro 2020, which is going on right now, which is think the World Cup, but it's just the European countries, and that got delayed till this year for COVID and everything, and so we get this tournament, which is electric, which the goals scored in the games just today were 8 goals in the first game and 6 in the second, and like 6 of those in total were like out in the last 15 minutes of each game and stuff like that. So it's like an electric tournament. So I love watching it and everything. So we get that this year, and then we get the actual World Cup next summer, when normally you have to wait 2-year gaps between those tournaments. So it's like get that very delayed offset of like having no sports, but then we get sports just like that with Euro and then the Olympics and then the World Cup and then everything. So it's great.
good time to be alive.
A sports fan for sure.
So call on yourself, Trev. You got something planned?
I have something planned for the people. So since Mr. Day Vision is gone, I'm big sad. So what I'm gonna do? We were gonna do a remix of Eminem's "Without Me." We were gonna do a little shout out to him, but we definitely decided not to do that for obvious reasons. But I wrote a little something. It's a little interpolation of the very beginning. So it goes, guess who's gone? Gone one time. Dave is gone. Trev is sad. Where is Dave? I miss Dave. Why is Dave gone from us? I want Dave back with us. Please, David, come back now. Trev is sad.
Yeah. It's
Shout out to David. If I hope you're listening to this, but we miss you, buddy. I hope you're clapping them cheeks.
Family.
And happy 6 months to you guys.
Yoda, we getting the just like Eminem on Without Me, we getting that parental advisory sticker slapped on the front of this episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Goodness.
For sure.
That's just
So
funny.
we had a couple things happen. Mr. Alex and I watched. We went to Universal for the day with Mr. Rocio. We saw Fast 9, and I think we're gonna spoil a little bit for Cam, but hopefully we can make it a little entertaining for you because it was quite the wild ride, pun intended.
Honestly, I can hopefully add a little bit to the conversation, just asking random questions because it is such like a, I mean, it's I can't even monolith of a franchise, right? So, but it's just it's like a Michael Bay movie where you just go and shit blows up and cars go fast and all that shit happens in front of you, and it's fun to watch.
The Avengers come through.
It's just a good time.
Like,
you don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, facts. Yep.
Dude, you don't think about it right until the movie literally makes you think about it because it blows your mind, and it's not so much that it blows your mind, but it has done so much over the years that it has to consistently try to top itself. Yeah, so it becomes very exhausting as a viewer. They literally went to space
In this
and
movie?
they went to space. Yeah, they
That's
went to
hilarious.
space in a 1970s or 1980s Pontiac.
Yeah.
Strapped to a fucking rocket engine.
So
They were
did
literally on a big jet.
Did they shout
right?
out Elon
It's-
Musk, or did they just
No,
roll
I don't
with it?
think they did. But
Because Elon did it first.
the movies have gone so far that they're now self-aware and they're literally saying it in the movies like, yo, we've done all these missions.
Yeah.
How the fuck I don't have, like, my black ass don't have a scratch. Like, that's what
That's
Kyrie
mad
says.
funny.
But he's like, why don't I have a scratch on me? Not a scratch. Like, 13 people just tried to shoot me, like, not even 15 minutes ago. Why don't I got a scratch? And they're just like, oh, maybe we're just invincible. Like, come on, bro.
It'd be crazy if he like looked down the barrel of the camera and was just like, it's almost like I have plot armor or something.
No, that would have been way too much.
That would have been like, you would have had to stand up and walk out of the theater. It's like they're too self-aware. Am I being watched? Where are the cameras?
Dude. And the funny thing is, we were walking through because they have a Fast and Furious ride at Universal, and we were walking through the line.
So.
Yeah,
Money on the table, if not.
dude, they need it. Should have been better, but
Nah,
that's
that's yucky.
besides the
It's
point.
definitely yucky.
It is a yucky ride.
Wow, that's fucking disappointing.
It's really trash. Because it's billed as like a party bus, right? You go on this party bus, and then there's like screens on your side, and you like, oh yeah, I'm riding with them. But it's billed as a party bus, and then you get on it, and it's a military heist, and they're just like shooting at each other, and Dom is like hanging off the fucking side of a helicopter with an RPG, and The Rock is sitting there on a turret, and it's just like,
So
what the
it's more
fuck is
of a-
happening?
It's more of a sit and watch kind of a thing than it is like anything else.
yeah, it's like a simulation ride where you're literally on a bus, and then there's screens on your side, and then it like moves and whatever, so you feel like you're driving.
Yeah. So
Here comes Vin Diesel.
is the bus like stationary, just like on hydraulics, or does it actually like move through the area or
No,
whatever?
it doesn't. It moves a little bit to get into the place where the screens are, but that's it.
But then it just shakes and turns and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
Yo, I will say about the ride, one of the funniest things, there's like a pre-show before the ride, right? And they have these people working there that are actors in a sense, where they'll have the characters pop up on the screen like a phone call, like they're talking to you, and they have to pretend like they're talking to them. So I feel bad
because
for
it's
people
like the
'cause they're
actors from the
just,
movie
like,
that are calling in.
yeah, so they're kind of just like talking to themselves, and they have to like say the same line. So I can
it's
imagine
just-
it being exhausting.
it's scripted conversation with a recording.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. And so homie he was done, and then she pops up on the screen. Mia, she's like, everybody's face on these walls is family. On these pictures, and then homie just goes, "Where's my picture at, Mia?" And I was dying the entire time. I just thought that was the funniest.
It was just the way it was near the end of his shift, and he's like, "Where's my face, Mia?" He just starts looking around, and she just keeps talking like he didn't say it.
That's so funny.
Stupid as hell. But
I guess I would imagine like after a while you would start improvising a little bit of shit, like especially if you knew like you're not gonna get fired for this or whatever. Have a little fun with it.
especially considering they repeat themselves every 5 minutes, like with a new crowd. It's like
Yeah.
I would assume that gets insanely tiring. But
Right.
Yeah.
shout out to y'all for doing your best.
Facts.
And it's a cool job. It definitely the livelier the crowd is, the more or the less painful it is for the actors, because if they're just sitting at you staring at you, it's like it's really painful for them. But
Which most of the time that's what it is.
yeah,
Every time I've
Which
been on it, everybody's just kind of like, cool.
I try to give them a nice chuckle, but I mean, I'm just trying to ride the ride, man. I don't give a shit about the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm
either
more
way,
worried about being funneled into the damn rooms.
Yeah. There's a place near me called Five Wits that I think is a chain. So I think they have different locations in different cities, but that it's like a pseudo escape room where it's like a guided escape room basically, where you have a guy with you that's like the actor that has like interacts with the recordings and like helps you play out the scenarios, and you move from like room to room and stuff. And so those guys, a lot of them are like aspiring actors and stuff like that they do that for practice. And it's definitely exactly like you said. Like if no one wants to be there, then these guys are just having a fucking terrible time, like trying to get the crowd into it because it's their job, but like they're having none of it. And the opposite is true, I think, when like you actually get a really, really good group who's super into it and like and interacting with you and like making it fun and getting into like the role play of it all, like the actual like, because they put you in this room and then expect you to like immerse you in the scenario, like a lot of Universal rides do. And so if people are just like, this is dumb, which it's actually pretty cool, but yeah, I can see that being fucking exhausting if you have shit groups.
I liken it just like being a comedian. Like if you have a shit crowd, it doesn't matter how funny you are. Like your jokes aren't going to land like you want them to, and it's not going to be the same interaction like you want it to. It's a lot with the performing arts. Has a lot to do with the crowd, but
yeah.
No, but the final thoughts on the movie. The movie was it was way too much. I enjoyed it for what it was, but dude, it makes you suspend your belief, like in any modern physics, any like simple understanding of the universe that you have. You need to check at the door. It tosses everything out. They literally were driving around with like this magnet that would just like attract every piece of metal around it and they were throwing fucking cars at each other. It was nuts.
I saw that in the trailers and stuff. There was a movie, I don't know if you're familiar with it, that was straight to Netflix, I think, with Ryan Reynolds called Six Underground.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Did you watch it?
Is it trash?
Yeah.
Is it trash?
It wasn't trash, but it was exactly like what you're describing, of like you just have to check like your understanding of how things in the world work at the door, because there's like a climax scene where they're on this yacht and they have shit going on with magnets and stuff, and you're just like, that's just not how that should work at all. Like it just makes no sense. And they do it's very Fast and Furious about it, where they just do outlandish shit and it just works out, and they're like, dang, all according to plan, and you're like, okay, sure, man. Like that had like a 10% chance of working. Yeah,
I also don't enjoy the angle where they make Dom Toretto the fucking Hulk. There's a part where he's like, and spoilers ahead. Like, I'm sorry, I completely forgot to say that, but there's a point where he's like literally kicking people. Like there's 15 people, like they're gangbanging him, and he just like he sees his wife or her sister or whoever, like they're escaping, and he's like, I have to make sure that they get away. And you just see this glint of determination in his eye, and he just gets up while he's being manhandled by 15 people, and then he's just like, yeah, and then he pulls this fucking chain and breaks the fucking catwalk above him, and just kills everyone. No, dude, come on.
Christ.
You don't need to make him the Hulk.
But he was drowning at the end, so he's human.
But then he drowns, and then he sees the fucking past and the future in the same time. It's like, the movie was outlandish, but it was fun.
But like,
I still
a lot of people
5 and 6 were the best in the series, but
yeah, the few people I've talked to about the movie so far who've actually seen it all said they don't like it because of how unrealistic it is. But then in my head, I'm like, But you go into it knowing it though. I mean, sure you could take that.
Yeah.
This definitely makes you suspend your belief, but I still like had a fun time watching it. It's fun to watch in some moments.
It's tricky.
But
It's
I'm
tricky.
not gonna not like it because I know it going into it. What I'm gonna see. You
But
know,
it's
I'm not
tricky
expecting.
because that one was just way too much. Like
Yeah,
that one was the line is being crossed movie. Like it's just too much. They're doing way too much. If they scaled it back, which they can't now, that's the problem. It's like they're shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, I think they make it tricky for themselves in a way where they like. I mean, I haven't seen one in a while, and I've only seen.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't
clips
even
and
see the
stuff,
ones that
so
were
it's like,
popping.
Yeah, so but I've seen like extended clips, like 3-5 minutes of like the more outrageous shit, like when they drive cars between skyscrapers and whatever.
I want to, but that's so fucking cool though.
Yeah, see, like that.
The
That's like
imagery
that's where it's just like
it's nuts.
absurd but cool. Yeah. So that's. I guess that's what I was gonna say. Is like from what you're saying and from the minimal amount of that I've seen is like they like ground themselves in reality and then flip that right over and then is like this is also reality even though it's absurd, but like don't take us too seriously. But it's I don't know. I have no harsh criticism of that series just because it's like exactly what Alex said is like you go in knowing exactly what you're gonna get, which is why I kind of laughed a little bit when you said spoilers ahead, because like the entire.
Still.
I mean, I guess you said some things that I didn't know, but the joke I was gonna make is that like the trailer is the spoiler, where it's like they reveal that it's all about like his like John Cena,
his
Tom
long
Toretto's brother, yeah, and like
sibling that he also
just,
forgot
like,
to mention like 10 years later. Like no, bro.
I don't know. So
Facts.
but it was like
movies are fantastic
how
though.
much can you
I
spoil
love
Fast and Furious when you go for the explosions and the cars and the cool shit, not the plot necessarily. So
the plot's tough, but it takes away from it.
But
this is probably like my least favorite next to Fast 4 or whatever it was called, Fast and Furious 4. But dude, like there was a sequence of I think it was from 5 to 8. Those 4 movies. Like I went and I binged them all in like a weekend. I bought the 8 movie collection or whatever, and I watched them all in one weekend. And it's such a like contrast from the first 3 movies because the first 3 movies are legitimately about cars, cranking NOS and drifting. And then the fourth one comes around and it's like
actual like drag racing, like the actual
drag
quarter
racing,
mile,
exactly.
the actual like quarter mile, like the
climax of those movies, like that was it, like the big drag race. It led up to everything, led up to that. Yeah. But the fourth one is where shit gets ridiculous, and it just becomes an Avengers like ensemble suite. Yeah. And then it goes there from there. But Fast 5 through 8 is nuts. I really recommend you watch them.
I definitely will at some point. Like I said, I have nothing against them. I just never, had a reason to really go see them in theaters or anything.
I watched them 2 years ago, and that was 6 years after Paul Walker died. Rest in peace. And when I got to that movie where he quote unquote passes away, like the last one, where I think it's called Furious 7. Yeah, they drive off. I cried. I cried for 2 days. Like every time I thought about it, I was sad. I was legitimately depressed when I got to that movie, and I'm like, wow, he's really not with us anymore.
Yeah, dude.
And now,
you get so attached to these characters. Like Brian is like, say what you want about the movies, but like say the meme about everyone's family or whatever. They really make you feel like they give a shit about each other.
The plot in the first few is very strong, because he's like initially a cop, right, and then he like flips back and forth.
Yeah,
and, like, all that
the first two are great.
There's nothing to be said negative about the plot there. I think it's very legitimate, and then the cars are cool and everything. I don't know. I've seen them fucking forever ago, so I'm not gonna get too into it. But yeah, I completely agree with you. Like it's not like the characters are fucking made of paper. Like they are.
No, they're great. They're lovable.
They stand up by themselves. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you cannot hear that Wiz Khalifa track and not think of this franchise.
Dude, I bawled, bro.
Synonymous. But
I lost my first family dog around the time that came out, and I listened to that song and thought of my dog Max, and I fucking cried my eyes out. I was like fuck me. Like, it was just like, oh
Mhm.
man. It was, yeah, it's a
Jeez.
fucking tearjerker for sure. Exactly the way they set it up.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Whenever he pulls up next to Paul, and it's fucking heart wrenching. But we
I
miss
can't
you,
imagine
buddy.
what his brother must have felt like in that position.
Yeah,
That's
and
a-
what
that's
they did hint at,
terribly unique
because
feeling.
like Brian is like his character in the movies. He's still alive. He's just in hiding,
Yeah.
and they hinted at it at the very end. They hinted at him coming back in the next movie. So I'm
Oh,
really
dope.
excited for that. Honestly.
But yeah,
Is
'cause
that
the-
really? You think they hinted at him coming back?
Oh yeah. There's no way that he just pulls up and they just no.
No,
They're definitely
no.
doing something.
They were okay.
They're definitely
so-
doing something.
Nah, what could they do, man?
What you mean? What can they do? They got the fucking power technology. It's 2021. They
Yeah,
can make them whoever the fuck they want. We had Carrie Fisher for a whole scene.
I looked at it more as like they're all getting together and having a barbecue, and then he just pulls up because he's missing from it. He's the only one missing, and he pulls
I
up
d-
to join them.
I
That's
think-
what I saw it as. I think that they're ending it.
Completely right,
not
but
gonna-
I want to believe that they're going to incorporate him. I really would dig that.
Yeah.
Because like you can't put all that asset into he's just in hiding, like, and then they even hint at it in the movie. They're like, we don't go in hiding, that's not us. Like, there's so many times where they just hint at the fact that they're not supposed to be in hiding. Why is he still there? Show him. Just show him you have the brother. I'm sure he's willing to do it. If he's not, I'm sure he would have made that very clear. And he could have. I don't pay attention to any of these personal lives, so I have no idea. But
yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. That feels a lot like, what's the fucking... Am I really going to dig up this grave for money? Yes, I am. And just like fucking jigging up Smitty Werberman Jensen, the fucking Mr. Krabs meme.
Yeah.
It's like...
I feel like it would be
feel
a
like-
cash grab, though.
I
don't know.
I can't imagine them doing it in a way that's not.
I feel like it's a cash grab to bring back Han that died right before our eyes, and they're just like, oh, by the way, that was a hologram. Shut the fuck up, bro.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you there. But it's like
Yeah,
he's
no,
that
but this is
person
something
actually
different.
is still alive.
This is something different. I
That
think
was a cash grab to me.
That's
it would
fine.
have.
I'm not disagreeing. Go ahead, Alex. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm very mixed. It would have to come to a point where it actually is coming to a fruition for me to see it and then tell you how I feel about it, because I'm not sure right now.
Right.
Yeah.
The
I don't know,
selfish
it's-
the selfish fan in me wants that to happen, and I think that they could do it justice. However,
They could, but they
it
have
would
to
be
do it the right
heartbroken
way.
if they didn't. And I'm not mad at anyone that says like, oh, he should just stay like in hiding or whatever.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, the selfish fan in me is wanting that. But either way,
Mhm.
I'm actually surprised that we spent all that time on Fast and Furious. But
True.
Yeah, I mean, we talked
I
about it
did-
conceptually for a while. So.
yeah,
Mhm.
I did want to tell that quick story from The Mummy. Alice and I went to Universal as we said earlier, but like our last ride was The Revenge of the Mummy, and there's this audio bit that plays at the very beginning of the ride every single time, and it's loud as shit. You can't miss it, and it's just a guy that's like trapped by the mummy, and he's like, "Are you insane? Get out of here! The curse, it's real. This whole place is a trap. He's after your soul," or whatever, something like that. But he says it every time you go around this little corner. So like right before we got to the corner, I was like, "Are you insane?" And then 10 seconds pass by, and then the audio bit starts playing, and the chicks in the front row like turn back and they just start laughing at us.
Is
Funniest shit in the
Is
world.
it while you're on the ride or while you're
Yeah.
like...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's while you're on the ride, yeah.
Yeah. I've
We were
been
just
on that
getting-
one.
we
I
were just
recall
moving.
it.
Dang.
But not everything about
No,
it.
that's fantastic.
That's a good coaster.
Yo, but I'll tell you what is a
That's mad funny.
insane coaster, brother. You have to. You
Oh?
have to get on.
Yeah,
The
if you're in
Velocicoaster,
town,
man.
yeah, the Velocicoaster. Oh,
Oh my cheesiness, brother!
it's
I went
actually
on it
so
for the
intense
first
that I
time.
had a throbbing headache for like a half hour afterwards.
I
Dude.
mean, I have outstanding Disney tickets
true.
from when I purchased them way back when, like March 2020, I think. Or we purchased them. We
Oh,
purchased them like
you purchased
before,
them like
before that.
October. We were supposed to go in October. of like 2019 or something like that.
Was it then? Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like
Anyway,
November. Yeah.
that must have fallen through because then we were going to go in. I think that fell through, and then we were like, okay, well, we have these tickets. Let's go in March now. And then the pandemic happened, and we were like, okay, we can't fucking use the tickets again because there's a pandemic. And then, time passes by, and they extend the tickets because they're fucking closed, so they had better. Like, good business move, Disney. Thank you. And so I think they're good until the end of this year, basically. So I need to, I want to use them because otherwise that's just however much money that was sunk. So all that being said, if I'm spending the money to fly down there and go to Disney, and quite a few podcast episodes should come out of that while I'm there, while we're all hanging out.
That'd be dope.
Might as well spend the cash on a Universal ticket. So we can do,
that would be dope, bro.
we can do probably Epcot or something like that one day, and then Universal the next. Because I haven't been to like Universal or anything like that since I was like started to be very okay with going on roller coasters and stuff. I think the last time I went when I was like 13, and I was still a little scared of like the really, really big ones. And now I have no qualms about them at all. So yeah, dope.
I would love for you to do that. My only problem is it's just so expensive, and the lines are just kind of long. So I don't really know if a 2-part ticket would be justified. Alex, would we just have to like get him to do one and then hit everything, or what?
That's a good question. We definitely have to go like as soon as the
We have
park
to
opens.
go
so
like
all day.
early in the morning, right as they open.
Mm-hmm.
And
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the logistics later.
Yeah, no, that would be dope as shit.
It'll
We
work
could
out.
have
Like
a
Cameron, if
nice
it's
little
coasters is
unboxing
what
life
you're
for you.
about, man. The Velocicoaster. We gotta
Yeah,
get
If
what you want.
it's one park, I would love to. I would take
Yeah.
him to Islands. I would take him to Islands
That's true. Yeah.
because you've got
I agree.
Hagrid's, you've got Velocicoaster, you've got Hulk, you've got Spider-Man, you've got fucking
Although
Jurassic Park, King Kong.
Where's Wizarding World?
Hulk looks.
There's
Oh,
two.
freaking-
Wizarding World is in Islands of Adventure, and then Diagon Alley is in Universal.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll figure all that out
The
later.
best
What I
Harry
want.
Potter ride is at Universal,
Yeah.
but Hogwarts is in Islands of Adventure.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me
All right.
say.
We'll figure
I
it all
must
out
say.
later.
I must say that the Velocicoaster, while you're waiting, is right across from the Hulk. And the Hulk, let me tell you, looks such like a small PP compared to freaking Velocicoaster, man. You just see it going about 2 miles per hour on the other side of the dang lake.
That is fucking hilarious because when I was talking about like the last time I was there, it was the end of the day. We were like at a restaurant, but still on park grounds. And I was like, Dad, let's go on the Hulk. And he was like, okay. And I ended up pussying out like at the last minute or something like that. There was like not a lot of, it was when I was still small cam. I was probably like, I was a tiny child. And so I was, I
was
had
9 when I first heard that.
Yeah, no. It's like it had nothing. It had part it had part of the way to do with me being small and stuff like that, where I felt like unsafe in the things. But obviously, it's all in your head. You literally can't fall out of those things if you're the proper size, which I was well beyond. But I still didn't feel good about it. But the story which I tell is that I don't know. I had to have been 5 or 6, but I can't imagine there's not a height limit on it. But either way, where's the Rock and Roller Coaster? What park is that at?
Is that Hollywood Studios?
Hollywood Studios, Disney.
Yeah.
So, we did a Disney trip when I was mad young like that, and I had to have been 5 or 6 or something like that, but tall enough to go on this on the Rock and Roller Coaster, which I think goes upside down like just the one time or something like that.
Multiple times, yeah.
Yeah. So, I was like, it's dark in there, and I was like super scared, and I go over, and I'm like, they're like, because it's getting hyped up, and I've been told about it by like friends who had been there, where it was like, yeah, it's so cool. So I must have been older. I don't know how I remember this much, but I think I was so small. But anyway, I was able to go on it if I could like sack up and fucking do it, but they brought me over to an example seat and were like, this comes down over your shoulders, and the thing like whooshes by like the front of the line, and I just explode into tears. I just like have a fucking mental
definitely the Hulk.
breakdown right
That's
there.
definitely the Hulk.
No, it was it was the Rock and Roller Coaster. I can go get
They don't
my
have an
mom. She can tell the same story. But
I don't have an example
That was
seat in there though, right? I think the
don't.
example seat's outside.
I'm probably mixing memories, but it was like
the Hulk is like the Hulk has that example seat, and it's literally like you can look up and it's right above you.
yeah, no, I mean, I didn't even get close to the front of the line for Hulk, and I definitely didn't break down. I was just like, oh, you know, I don't actually want to do this anymore. Let's just go back to the table at the restaurant we were at. But
The Hulk is kind of mid, man.
But yeah, I was just freaking.
It's rough.
It's mid.
No, I'm like I was a scaredy cat for like a lot of those things when I was like tiny and when I was like a teenager as well. Like I just didn't handle it well because I had like weird experiences in the past.
The Hulk was easily my favorite part about that park forever, and then I rode Hagrid's, and it changed my life.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it was probably like a couple of years after that I went on one that was like more violent at a different park up here in New England. So you know, I ended up out of that phase pretty fast, but I haven't been able. The point of the embarrassing story I'm telling you about myself is the fact that I haven't had the opportunity since I felt good about roller coasters to go on all the crazy ones at the big parks down in Orlando. So I'm definitely looking to do that. It'll be cool.
Yeah, that would be
sure.
sick. You could take a nice weekend trip, and we could go to Epcot on a Friday. We could do or Universal on a Friday, something like that on a Saturday. Epcot would be better on a Saturday.
Yeah, I just remembered something else.
What?
We were getting online for the Mummy, and here come these absolute toddlers dribbling
three toddlers.
like he was freaking.
They had
They were
basketballs.
dunking
They
on
were
the
going to
Mummy
bring the
just
basketballs on the
in
roller
line,
coaster.
breaking
And,
legs, man.
yo, Universal doesn't do that at all. Like, they have a locker for every ride. You can't bring shit on those rides. And here come three little kids with basketballs. And they were just like, ma'am. And they weren't even tall enough to ride the ride. Like, the attendant was like, yo, let's see how tall you are. He was a goddamn foot under the fucking line. I was like, bruh.
Shorty, yeah. He was a shorty. They were gonna dunk on the Mummy for sure if they were able to, but
Oh my god.
yeah. And then the parent was just like sitting there,
Yo,
like
imagine him
like-
throwing the fucking ball in the coffin, or the little hole where the beetle comes out.
Just drill him in the fucking face.
yeah.
Goodness
The parent was like
gracious.
standing there talking to the dude for like a solid minute, like, bruh, just
I felt bad.
recognize
I felt really bad.
that you're, not supposed to be doing this and leave.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
Oh well.
but yeah, I never seen that before. That was funny.
Yeah, some people are absolutely freaking deluded with the idea. Like, I don't know if I said that right, but like deluded about like what they can and cannot do at
Delusional?
places of business. Yeah, as in the word delusional. Yeah. Yeah, so delusional. I guess that's probably the more
I think it would
correct
just
word.
be delusional.
That's
yeah.
probably the more correct word. Yeah. So about like what you can and cannot do in a place of business and like what the rules are, and it's like stuff like that where you can. I'm sure that happens to them quite often, where a kid is like a good 6 inches under the height limit, and they're like, "Can't you? He's older. Like he'll be fine." It's like, no, it's literally regulations
not about
so that
height.
he
It's not
doesn't
about
fucking
age.
die. It's like,
Not about age, about your size.
yeah. So yeah,
He's
people.
fucking 1 year old. If he's 5 foot, he can get on the ride.
Yeah, they get some sort of a vendetta like in there, or they like have this like persecution complex about it a lot of the time. And it's like, no,
Yeah, it's shoot
it's
the
literally-
messenger all day.
it's literally you and everyone else who has ever been here that has had to deal with this rule. It's not like we changed it to fuck with you personally. Yeah, people
And
are
plus,
just
I'm not bringing my kid to a theme park like that. Most of those rides, they can't ride.
yeah. What a waste of
Yeah.
money. Like,
What a horrible waste of money. I don't know if there's I think maybe under 3 they get in for free. But still, you got to push a
I mean,
stroller
yeah, I was
the
gonna say
whole time.
that's
and,
when
like,
you just like can't leave them at home, and that's when you just like cart them around,
Yeah.
and then dad goes on the ride with the kid, and mom stays on, or
child
vice
swap.
versa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or just stuff them in a locker all day, and that's that.
Oh my god. Dude, don't say that because there's gonna be a story that pops up. Florida man kills child,
Jesus fucking Christ.
stuffing him in a locker.
Are you guys interesting transition if you guys are done and talking about Universal Studios? Are you guys aware of why Florida Man is the headline all the time as opposed to, you know,
state is a
Arkansas Man
fucking
or
shit show?
You ever heard of
No, I don't know.
Alex, do you know?
Because people out here acted like it's GTA. I don't know.
I mean, that's definitely true. I think Florida is like the modern Wild West in terms of like the shit that goes on there with, you know,
Or Texas.
Florida Man tries to trade like baby alligator at Burger King, I think is one of them. But it's because of
as if it's a currency.
I think they're called the Sunshine Laws, in which police reports of all kind have to be made immediately available to the media. And that law only exists in Florida. That doesn't exist, I don't think, in any of the other 49 states. So Florida news outlets and internet or national news outlets have immediate access to everything that the police have to do in Florida. And so like crazy shit like this probably happens all over the place. I mean, fucking Tiger King, all that bullshit happened in Oklahoma, but you don't hear anything about that until someone makes a massive documentary about it. And so like crazy shit happens all the time, but for some reason those laws exist. And so everything that comes out in like the Daily Sun and whatever is like Florida man like does
because they don't know the actual name or something like that.
Yeah.
It's too quick. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's interesting. I didn't even know that.
I wonder why they took a stand on that particular totem where they're just like,
Yeah, so
hey,
do you just have-
we need to have everything flow to the media immediately.
No clue. Honestly,
You just have news outlets who it's somebody's job to just filter through ridiculous police reports and like, this is what we're going to use.
probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm sure. I just read a really,
Stacked
really,
up.
really good clickbait article that was about Windows 11, and the headline was literally Windows 11 is coming out, but Microsoft doesn't want you to upgrade to it, or something like that. Like something really, like it literally pulled me, and I was like, all right, this is ridiculous. Like why is that a headline?
I love
And
before
then
you finish. I love seeing that and being like, "All right, fine," and clicking on
Yeah,
it.
it's
Like
I'll
you're like,
just click it.
you're
I'll
like,
give you the
"God
number.
damn you'll get my click. Fine."
I'll give you the number, the impression,
Yeah.
the click through rate. I'll give you the click through rate.
Yeah, exactly.
But the story was literally just like Microsoft has this, new product coming out, and most of the systems are ineligible for the upgrade. And it's like, I think it's an error in the system. I didn't read the entire article, but just a great example of quick bait. I'm done.
Quick
Get
bait.
baited quick, brother.
That's a Nestle quick bait.
That's all right. Go. Cameron, watch fucking Luca. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I've never heard of it. What is it?
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I've heard of it.
The funny thing is, I was in the same hypothetical boat as you, because I had no clue what this fucking movie was until Rocio came over and she was like, "Yo, what about that new Pixar movie? You want to watch it?" I'm like,
Which is nuts to me because
Yeah.
it's been around.
Soul came out 6 months ago, like on the dot. I think it was the 25th. Yeah, Friday. Literally 6 months on the dot it came out because Soul came out on Christmas Day.
That's right.
I was like, what the fuck? Where is this? I've never seen this.
I was surprised that it came out as soon as it did because of how recently I heard about it. Because I heard about Soul, I think, like a month and a half before it came out.
Right.
And I only heard
Right.
I only
They
heard
had a
about
whole
Luca.
campaign for it.
Yeah, I only heard about Luca like 2 weeks ago. I seen it only on like YouTube and then promoted on the Disney Plus app when I was watching like Loki and all that.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean,
I feel like I knew it was coming for a while. I don't know.
I still don't know how I feel about it just being a Disney Plus or original, and not being in theaters, because you watch Pixar in theaters, but
yeah.
Yeah.
excuse me,
They
it was
got-
cool though.
But I don't mind it. I don't mind it being included with the Disney Plus. That's nice. You don't have to pay the
Yeah.
premiere.
Right, like Mulan. Yeah,
Like
Mhm.
Mulan and like Raya and the Last Dragon, which is
Yeah.
they got a lot of heat for that, where they made it on Disney Plus and then also pay for it, please.
but
Yeah.
Raya came out after Soul, and Soul wasn't paid. Like it wasn't pay-per-view, which was a weird decision for them to revoke that and then reestablish it for another
Which
movie.
I don't know. It just
then
seems like
pull
a
it
trend with
again.
Pixar movies because Pixar is the only two movies on there like that. I don't know
Right.
what that deal is, but
Yeah, maybe there's
it's
a
got
weird
something
deal.
to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Shoot.
Dude, Luca was wonderful. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I want you to watch it. It is one hell of a colorful time.
It looks
so
colorful
cheerful.
for sure. It looks.
It is wonderful.
Just from the trailer, it looks very vibrant and interesting. Yeah.
Incredibly animated. I'm not really telling you much. You know Pixar.
Yeah.
The standard
That's
is
one
very
thing
high.
I will say. One thing I will say about it, because I've seen the trailers and stuff, and the trailers had me intrigued, and it also, I had no idea where it would go. So I really like
Dude.
that aspect. So it
And
goes
there's a
somewhere
couple twists,
completely than I
bro.
was not expecting.
There's a couple twists that I was like, holy shit. Like, I literally found myself like screaming out loud, like when we were watching it, like, did that just happen? Like, you know, like, it's a
What?
cool movie, man.
Dang, way to spoil that there's twists, idiot. Got his ass. Yeah, no, that's great. I'll definitely watch it. Fire
That's
that
a
up.
super recommend.
I haven't.
Mhm.
Still haven't seen Coco. Still haven't seen
Oh.
Soul. Still haven't seen. I knew that was gonna get both of you. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fucked.
It's just I don't want to
Coco is
watch it.
phenomenal, bro. I love
I shed
Coco.
a hard tear to Coco.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to
In
watch
fact-
it by myself. I don't want to be sitting by myself just sobbing in my basement. I don't.
The
That's
sad
a
scene-
sad
the sad
image in
scene
and of
in-
itself. So I don't want to
this-
create that.
The sad scene in Luca, if it was like 5 seconds longer, because I was like already tearing up. If it was 5 seconds longer, I would have been
Just
bawling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But now you know that there's a semi-sad scene, so I fucked up.
Yeah, you're fucking. I might as well not watch the movie at this point.
Goddamn,
Yeah,
Trevor,
you
he
know,
knows everything.
you know it's Pixar, you know it's Disney, you know the title. That's basically, and it's colorful.
And it's colorful. I know.
Well,
Yeah, I know
well,
that
we just
Coco
freaked it up
has.
for everybody.
I know that Coco has sad moments, so I basically shouldn't watch it.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's.
What else have you? You haven't seen Onward, have you?
No, that.
You kind of skip that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was fine.
It's what isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's fine.
It's like it's Tom Holland and Chris
Chris
Pratt,
Pratt.
isn't it?
Chris
That's a
Pratt.
fun duo. That's a fun voice acting.
It's a cool duo. The movie just kind of fell flat for me, but
It happens.
yeah, they can't. They're literally like 26, 27 movies in. Like, if they have a couple duds, I'm not gonna hold.
Can't
it
all be
against them.
bangers. Yeah.
They're literally the studio that created Monsters Inc. and fucking Toy Story. So
And the freaking
not and
Incredibles
Finding
and the
Nemo,
freaking Up and Ratatouille and
like,
Wall-E.
yeah, no, they're the best studio on the planet.
Yeah,
So
I've
I
seen
can't really-
a
can't
lot
really
of the classics. Honestly, that would be a fun, fucking phenomenal rewatch. Like, you know, talk about watching all the Avengers movies in order, watching because isn't there some? I mean, not some. There is. I know for a fact of like all of the Pixar movies are connected, kind of a thing. Like that there is like
they, have
a
a couple,
proper.
they have a couple threads that are woven in between them, but they're not really connected. I would
There's a-
say.
No,
there's
there's one like
there's a
outlandish
massive
conspiracy
conspiracy
theory
online.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's one outlandish conspiracy
Pixar
theory
theory.
where it's like, you know, this happened and this like the Toy Story ones are early on, and then there's like this, that, and the other thing, which leads to like a nuclear apocalypse, which leads to like the sentience,
Wall-E.
the sentience of the vehicles, and that's like the Cars and Planes series, and then like this happens and that happens, and then we go back
my
to this
God.
part, and then Wall-E happens, and like all this. I've seen it so long ago, and it's so convoluted that there's no way I remember anything. But the part I remember is that somewhere in there's like some sort of nuclear apocalypse, and that's how we get Cars. It's like, but.
It's funny
Yeah.
how there's a nuclear apocalypse in Cars, but the planet is like beautiful. Like they're still
Yeah,
riding
it's
on
like-
the
it-
like.
It's a conspiracy theory that goes on over the course of like thousands, if not like hundreds of thousands of years or something like
That
that.
is ridiculous.
But it's
It's
all
super-
with because like, you know, there's like the Pizza Planet ones that are like in different ones, and you know the Pixar
Yeah, the
ball
car that or the
that's
truck.
like the Pizza
Pixar
Planet
ball, yeah.
logo, the Pixar ball. Then there's like, you know, drawings or depictions of some kind of characters in movies that were released after the movie that they're depicted in and stuff like that. They're tricky with it. I mean, they came up with
Right,
there's some fun fact that I think I may have already said, but that you can find pretty easily, that like the concept for like Toy Story, Cars, and like Wall-E and like a couple other ones, those might be the wrong movies, but like several Pixar movies were like were brainstormed and like gotten onto paper, like the general concept of them in like one lunch, like in like 98 or something like that. Like they just had one business meeting where like all these ideas spawned from, and now they're like multi-movie franchises. So they've been concocting everything
Killing
for a
the
while, and
game.
obviously animation
Absolutely.
in that fantastic takes forever to put together. So
Yeah,
Not even that, you just look at how
I
it's
honestly don't
evolved.
want to know. I don't know. I don't want to know how long it took for
Mhm.
them to fine tune Finding Nemo. Like,
You just look at how it's evolved, man. If you like watch the first Toy Story movie and then watch the fourth one, it's like
there's
Wow.
only like 2 of those movies that look rough, and it's Toy
Yeah.
Story and it's A Bug's Life. That's
Mhm. But
it.
even then, because it was like the technology was so innovative at the time, it was all mind blowing.
yeah,
Right.
And now only now can we go back and say this looks rough. But now let's comparing it to what we are seeing today. At the time, it was like they're really doing something here, and those movies are still great in their regards. But
I mean they're timeless like concepts in terms of cinema. Like you can't really get mad at a whole lot of them. Granted, they are very predictable and they follow a very strict formula for the most part. It's like the Pixar formula, honestly. But
I eat
they
it up
mix it
every
up.
time.
Yeah, and they mix it up occasionally. Like Luca definitely didn't follow the same one as most, which was really
right.
refreshing
refreshing.
to see.
My man
honestly.
stays spoiling. Now I know it doesn't follow the Pixar formula.
Damn,
I might
What are
as
you
well
doing,
really
bro?
not watch it.
damn. Well, we might as well talk
Nah,
about
he
it. So
knows everything,
Luca,
you actually just
He
all right.
does.
Unboxing Life deep dive on Luca right fucking now because Cameron's being a dickhead.
Mhm. He actually turns into Mike Wazowski.
It's the final piece in the conspiracy.
The final piece.
How we got to Monsters Inc.
Yeah. And it's all because of that post-credit scene where he transforms into one eye.
Mike was
one eye. I'm
goodness.
on TV. Yo, shout out to every time Alex puts that in the chat and no one gets the joke.
I made that
Yo.
joke initially.
Did you?
Everybody
I don't
gets the
think I'm
joke,
crediting you with
Yeah,
that.
I said it was the first time that we did it. I mean, he may have made the joke before I did it, but I did it in and of myself where you had it was the first time
There's
we
probably
did
something about the artwork.
it was the first time we did a thumbnail or like a screenshot of our video for the thumbnail, and my face was like completely covered by the episode number or some shit, and I was just like getting the Mike Wazowski treatment out here.
Yeah.
So out here in these streets, it's
Out
tough,
here in
but it
these
happens.
streets.
The
Just the way that we
unboxing
make our
streets.
thumbnails right now. It's just how it goes, but it's all good.
No, I mean none of them like that have been like that since. I think we tweaked it, or you may have even tweaked it for that one, but I don't know. The meme stood. But yes, I get it when Alex drops it in the chat.
I'm glad.
Do we have anything else for the people?
It's a good joke. Nah, man,
Mm,
I'm cool.
nah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think I'm cool to cut it. We just wanted to get something out for you guys, and hopefully this comes out sooner rather than later. We still haven't recorded the Cash review, and we're gonna record Cells at Work and another variety for you guys the same week. So we're very behind schedule, but we're making it work.
Hmm.
We'll figure it out. It gets done.
Yep.
So
David, I miss you.
Well, we have no one to say it. Do we say it on 3?
do we
David's
say?
piece.
Hey,
Oh, he says, what does he say? Fuck.
It's
it
been
has
real.
been real.
Yeah.
How
No,
you
it
gonna
has been
forget?
real.
How you gonna forget?
Hey, when you put me on the spot, man, I'm not really that great.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It has been absolutely legendarily real, though.
It has been. So, Alex, from there, you want to take us out?
Yep. Yeah, thank you for listening. You can look forward to a lot of different things with these variety boxes and future reviews and discussion. Let us know if there's anything we talked about that you have a story to share or anything you want to let us or tell us, and we'll be happy to respond to you anywhere. Over here on YouTube, it's really easy in the comments. So shout out to you for making it this far, and I will say I love you all.
Definitely. We got those Apple Podcast reviews. You got the YouTube likes and dislikes, the comments section. You can follow us on Spotify. If you're watching on Spotify, that would help us show up on other people's pages. So that would be very nice of you to do. All those things on all those platforms, they'll have their own feedback system. So whatever you can give us, we appreciate. And if you want to contact us in any way, shape, or form, or just tweet memes, share bullshit, it's pretty free form. Just hit us up on @Unboxing Life Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and r/Unboxing Life Podcast. That's about it. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and be kind to each other and stay safe out there.
Yeah, stay excellent to everybody. I also did want to give, we should have done this way before, but I want to give David's track of the episode, and it is Without Me by Eminem.
We gave
That is,
I thought we pseudo did it.
I did it, but I didn't give him his tradition, so.
Yeah.
I don't remember you guys giving me my tradition last time, but we're going to make it a thing.
Your quote was that you didn't have a freaking quote.
Was it?
I think we did that, yeah, when you were gone. Yeah.
Shout out to that. No, but we did our thing. We chilled as 3 people, not 4. We weren't completely Voltron this episode, but life goes on, and David was okay with it. I'm still weird about it. I don't really like recording without the gang, but it's what we got to do. So I hope he's enjoying his 6-month anniversary with his girlfriend.
What's up?
Shout out to you guys. You love birds, you.
That's great.
And to love, peace, posterity, and peace out, baby.